everybody, Sean here from Somm Wine Club, and I have got some wine for you. This is the 2022 Chant de Sirenès Gris de Sauvignon. This is a rosé made from two obscure pink-skinned grape varieties grown in the Entre-Deux-Mers region of Bordeaux. So, Le Chant de Sirenès is a label produced by the Ducourt family of Bordeaux, specifically focusing on some more obscure grape varieties and not your classic Bordeaux grape varieties. So this is a rosé, but it's actually made from two white grapes. I say that in quotation because they're not really, they're pink-skinned grape varieties, which could be their own category, but Pinot Gris is a good example of this. Part of the blend here is Sauvignon Gris. Sauvignon Gris is a mutation of Sauvignon Blanc, where instead of having green skins, it has pink skins. So when they're ripe, they have this purplish pink hue, and if you press them and let them sit in the skins, they take on this really kind of pretty copper salmon color. Very similar to Pinot Gris and a number of other grape varieties, even things like Gewürztraminer can have like a pinkish purple hue to them when they are fully ripe, even though they're white grapes. The other part of this blend is a grape variety that, although sounds a lot like Sauvignon Gris, is not actually related to it at all, and that's Sirenès Gris. Now, Sirenès Gris is a partial hybrid that was created at the Geisenheim Research Institute in Germany by Dr. Norbert Becker in the 1980s. It's a cross of a hybrid variety that we know in Canada and it's also grown in England and in New York and in the Finger Lakes in New York, is Seyval Blanc. Now, Seyval Blanc was crossed with a grape variety called Zähringer. Zähringer itself is a cross between Traminer, which is the kind of parent non-mutated version of Gewürztraminer, and Riesling. So Sauvignon Gris is actually more of an aromatic grape variety and has nothing really in common with Sauvignon Gris or Sauvignon Blanc at all, but it does have the same pink colored skins. So these two grape varieties together give us this rosé that is this beautiful salmon kind of copper color to it, because they've left just enough time with the skins to absorb a little bit of that color instead of just making a pure clear white wine. So as we can see, this is still quite pale. This is not a deeply colored rosé. You could even call this an orange wine if you want to be really fussy about, like, yes, they're using white grapes or pink grapes to make a rosé. So whatever you want to call it, it's delicious. So yeah, pale salmon color, little bit of a copperish or orangey hue to it, little hints of pink as well. The nose is quite lifted and aromatic and floral. There is that Sauvignon Gris in here, which is giving that kind of lift of aromatics. There's orange blossom, there's like apricot, there's spiced stone fruit, there's like a peachy note. There is a lot of like crushed stone mineral character here as well. Entre-Deux-Mers means between two seas, and it's in between basically the two tributaries of the Gironde estuary, the Dordogne and the Garonne. So you have basically all of this influence of the estuary of the Gironde that's going to influence the character of the wine. So this is heavily influenced by the ocean, and it's showing a lot of that kind of salty mineral character of the sea. Even the name of the wine, the Chant de Sirenès, means the call of the sirens. So another ocean influence, another reference to the area and the region. There's something slightly nutty here as well, but not in the same way as you might get nutty from something like Pinot Grigio or Chablis. It's not like almond, it's more like hazelnut. It's got a little bit more richness to it, a little bit more kind of density. And some of that might also be just that combined with the intense aromatic character of the wine that's making it seem a little bit richer. But let's taste and see. tons of acidity, super, super tangy and tart. Like, very refreshing, very vibrant, a lot more citrus on the palate than on the nose. The nose seems more riper, stone fruit, apple and pear. The palate is a ton of like lemon zest, lemonade. There's a really lovely kind of floral note to the palate, which I don't usually get floral as much on the palate in a white wine. That's typically like an aromatic thing that you get on the nose, but here I can actually kind of like taste it. It tastes a little bit like flower petals. There is this kind of undertone of red fruit character as well, which I would expect from a rosé made from red grapes, but a rosé made from aromatic or somewhat not aromatic with Sauvignon Gris white grapes, it's very interesting to get like a red fruited character. It's like underripe strawberry, cherry. There's a little bit of like gooseberry too here. It has this kind of like really lovely wild berry fruit. And I just had a gooseberry like this past week, so it's fresh in my mind. There's a lot of citrus peel on the finish to this wine. Like as the rest of the fruit kind of fades to the back, you get this like bitter orange peel that lingers a little bit on the palate. This is done in stainless steel on the lees, so you do get a little bit of lees contact to add some texture and add some weight to this wine. But having so much kind of aromatic intensity on the nose and great acidity gives this wine some like fun and playful options to do for food. This is like a great wine that I think would work really well with paella. If you wanted to do paella, you get that in the saffron, a little bit of bitterness from that. You get shellfish. You can get richer dishes if you wanted to throw in some chorizo in there. But I definitely always put chicken and mussels and prawns in my paella. You get the kind of sweetness of red pepper. So all of those elements kind of working together in this like salty, briny mixture. Baked oysters would be like another one. Especially add like a little bit of spice, do some Espelette or Creole seasoning or something like that that adds a pop of spice, and then you can just bake the oysters like Rockefeller with fresh parsley and lemon and cheese. You can do like slightly kind of more subtle fish, things like sole or haddock, like not smoked haddock, like just doing like simple white fish with lots of citrus and herbs. My brain is just like doing all kinds of cartwheels trying to think of really interesting things to do. Thai food would be really great here. Doing pad thai, you get that nuttiness of like the peanuts and the vinegary character of it, all of that kind of spice and aromatic complexity of cilantro and peppers and things like that too. This is going to be fun to experiment with. I like already kind of what this wine's giving, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for really unique and different things and different ways to play with it. So I hope that that is exciting for all of you as much as it is for me, because I get to play with these wines too, and I get to like trial out different pairings, and then we get to talk about them. So there we go. Something definitely on the more unique side. The Le Chant de Sirène Souvenir Gris and Sauvignon Gris, Gris de Sauvignon Rosé from Entre-Deux-Mers. Enjoy. Thank you. We'll see you guys all next time.